So I've been away from VRChat for about a month, and during the time when I was gone, an update came out. It had some pretty cool things in it. The one thing I was super excited for was the return of putting chairs on your avatars. I've been waiting so long to get it back, and finally we got it back. But there was something in this update that a lot of people were initially really happy about, but once they saw it in game, a lot of people were kind of upset about it. And this was the update where they added the ability to see avatars' performance rankings. With this little addition, it gave the ability to see your own avatar's performance rankings. It would apply a little symbol based on how performance taxing your avatar supposedly is. A lot of people at first were really excited about this when they heard about it, but once they logged into the game and saw that the average person was rated poor or medium, people got a bit upset. This wasn't something that kind of came out of the blue. This was actually requested quite a while ago, a way to see how taxing an avatar is. So it was something that was actually asked for, but people were surprised at their ranking. The thing is, a lot of people don't realize that these performance rankings doesn't mean that your avatar is bad. They have the ranks of like very good, good, medium, poor, and very poor. And a lot of avatars with heavy animations or a lot of effects are rated in poor and very poor. And people are upset that these avatars that they put tons of time into get rated as poor. I think the thing that people don't realize at first right now is that poor and very poor doesn't mean it's a bad avatar. It just means that to some people, they might see the effects of that avatar as far as when it comes to lag. But yeah, a common argument is my avatar doesn't cause lag. One or two with that avatar, yeah, might not cause lag. But if your avatar is as taxing as like 4 or 5 avatars, and then everyone in the room has an avatar like that, multiplying that by 25 or 30, it really can add a lot of performance issues. Another common thing I hear is it's the game's fault. The game is laggy. You can't punish us for our avatars. But the fact that you can go into a room with VR, you have like a perfect 90 frames per second, and a couple people come on and you can keep that frame rate, shows that the game itself isn't as bad as people say it is. But once you get 20, 30 people in the room, it can get pretty laggy, and it's the effects of the avatars. So the dev team trying to push this, being conscious about optimizing our avatars, it's just something that we all need to work on together. But again, it's not saying that you can't have an avatar that's ranked poor or very poor. It's just something to keep in mind, keep conscious about. Another complaint I've heard is that the system shouldn't be based on your lowest ranking thing. For example, say you have an avatar that's like perfectly optimized, you got a good polygon limit, which has been raised to 70,000 from 20,000, so that's pretty cool. But say you're within your polygon limit, materials are all good, you're like green, very good all the way down, but then you have a bunch of dynamic bones and colliders. Then you'll be put like at low performance ranking because dynamic bones and colliders do affect performance. In that case, even though everything else is rated like really good, you'll be put at you'll get a symbol that says that your avatar is low performance ranking, and that is understandably a bit upsetting. But this isn't the way it's going to stay. In the Discord, and when this topic was brought up quite a lot, we were told repeatedly that eventually it will probably be a weighted system. So like for example, the different sections will have points, and then as you go through and it points it up, then it will give you a nice average. So that is something that they do plan to do, but right now with the current system they just want to kind of get it out there and start working on it in a full environment. So I believe at least that right now is the worst that you'll see it, and then as they add more, we'll get a more fleshed out and balanced look at the performance settings. So all I'm trying to say is don't go and start hating the devs or anything for this system, it's still in the works and it will be updated and become a better thing later. And one thing I was actually really happy about was when they added this and they added the symbols, they didn't do it the same way as the nameplates. Whereas the nameplates are always shown, this performance ranking you only see if you open up your menu. So you kind of have to look for it to even notice it, and I don't think it'll be a big issue before too long. First couple weeks there's gonna be, you know, the whole prejudice thing, kicking based on your rank, discriminating based on how performance your avatar is, but I think this has less of an impact than the ranking system did. The ranking system had an elitist thing. This is completely in control of your avatar creator. The person who makes the avatars, it's completely in your control. So I think it's going to be overlooked in a bit by most of the community, and it'll just kind of blend in, and it'll just be there, but it won't be a huge issue like people kind of make it out to be right now. I actually think that this performance ranking system is kind of a good thing. We've been asked to optimize our avatars for a long time, but many people don't. And if they had just come in and like put in hard limits and said, okay, you can only do this many materials, this many dynamic bones, this many this, that, there would be a huge backlash and a lot of people would just leave the game. With this, we still have full freedom to do whatever we want. We actually have more because now the polygon limit's been raised to 70,000 from 20. So we have more freedom than we did before, but we just have these rankings now, and it makes it visible. So it's just, all it does is it makes us self-conscious about how we make our avatars. And I'm an example of this. With this avatar, this is ranked poor. It doesn't look it, but I had been meaning to optimize this avatar for a long time, but I gotten lazy and I never got around to doing it. So yeah, in this avatar is rated poor. I have like 38 dynamic bones and 3 colliders, and I think like 13 materials. I've known for a long time that I could get that material count down to 3, and I can cut down on the dynamic bones and colliders. I could have 1 collider, cut down on the dynamic bones, and have things just like weight painted, and I could get my avatar to a good rating. But just my personal laziness, I never got around to it. But now with this update, it kind of gives me a drive to do that. So for things like that, I'm actually kind of thankful for it. It's given me motivation to work on my avatar and optimize it. So yeah, with the performance ranking system, eventually it'll be fleshed out better and we'll have averages and they'll be better overall. But until then, what I'm going to do at least is I'll have my personal avatars for when I'm just with friends that are a little bit lower ranked, and then when I go in public, I'll just have one like this. This is ranked as very good. I have no dynamic bones, it's only got 3 materials, and yeah, it still looks good. It's not flashy and all full of physics and stuff like that, but it's still good, it's fun to use, and I think it's a good solution. Yeah, so just when you go in public, you can have an avatar that's not performance taxing. You can have a room full of people, and you don't have to worry so much about causing lag and stuff. So that's just what I'm going to do. You guys can do whatever you want. As the system goes on, it will be worked on better. More optimization will go into the game itself, and we'll also have these rankings will be rated better. So just put down your pitchforks and just enjoy the game. It's not the end of the world. This will get better.